Back door, someone? Back door. Okay. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our regular session agenda for the Calexico City Council, Calexico Redevelopment Successor Agency, Calexico Financing Authority, for our regular meeting agenda for Wednesday, July 1st, 2020. It is approximately 6:35, and we called to order, so we will have roll call at this moment.
Mayor Hodge,
Here?
Councilmember Arreola Fernandez, Councilmember Risen, Councilmember Pacheco, Councilmember Garcia.
Here.
We have a quorum, Mayor.
All right, very good. Before we proceed, I need to read, this is mandatory, I need to read this since we are facing COVID-19. Due to the declaration of emergency, this meeting is being held pursuant to authorization from the governor's executive orders. Some or all of the city council members may participate in this meeting by teleconference, but as you can see, we have all of the council members here tonight. As authorized by Executive Order N-29-20, issued by the Governor of California on March 17, 2020. Until further notice, there will be no public access to City Council meetings. However, public participation is available in the following ways. Number one, members of the public are encouraged to watch the open session portion of the meeting via live stream at 6:30 at www.communityspectrum.org or via the Calexico City Hall Facebook page at www.facebook.com/City of Calexico, capital CA, California. You may also join the open session portion of the meeting via GoToMeeting from your computer, tablet, or smartphone at 6:30. You would find that on the web. It's global.go-to-meeting.com/join/619206821. You can also dial in using your phone. The toll-free for the United States is area code 866-899-4679, and the United States, another phone number is area code 571-317-3117. The access code tonight is 619-206-821. Thank you. Now, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I will lead you. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing. We have the mission statement. Ready? Together, we pledge to provide effective and efficient services in a courteous and respectful manner to improve the quality of life for all in our unique border community. Viva Calexico. Please remain standing. The invocation, I will lead you on that. Dear Heavenly Father, in our hearts we plan our course, but we pray that you establish our steps. We seek you for advice. Let us not only make decisions based upon what we know, but let us act based upon your wisdom. Please guide us, Lord. We plan this meeting in your hands. We place our hearts and our minds in your hands so that you may direct us. Amen. You may be seated now. Okay. Closed session announcements. Mr. City Attorney?
Thank you, Mayor. We do have an announcement on the second closed session, which we added as an urgency item to the agenda. That was public employee appointment, title city manager. Due to the fact that we did receive a resignation letter from the current city manager resigning from the position of city manager effective August 1st, City Council in closed session on a 5-0 vote with the first by Mayor Pacheco and a second by Risen, voted to appoint Mr. Miguel Figueroa as the new city manager for the city of Calexico, effective August 1st of this year, the date of the current city manager's resignation.
Effective August 1st.
Correct.
Miguel Figueroa.
And
Thank you.
And we will at a future meeting, we'll bring back an employment agreement.
Very good.
For that position.
And
Congratulations.
congratulations, Mr. Figueroa. Okay, may I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Thank you. Second? Second by Councilman Risen. All right, we'll take an individual vote.
Mayor Hodge,
Aye.
Councilmember Arreola Fernandez,
Aye.
Councilmember Risen, Councilmember Pacheco,
Aye.
Councilmember Garcia.
Aye. All right, passes unanimously. City Clerk, announcements.
These proceedings may be viewed on the City of Calexico website at www.calexico.ca.gov the Friday following the City Council meeting. Community office hours with Mayor Hodge have been suspended until further notice due to coronavirus COVID-19.
Okay. We are, Mr. City Attorney, it's fine that we can go right to City Manager's report, skip public comments, and then go to public comments. Would that be fine? What do we need to do in order to do that?
Just the consent of the city council.
A consent? Would everybody agree
Consensus.
upon that? We are now going to give or have City Manager's report. Mr. Dell is going to speak. Then we will do public announcements. Okay?
Yes.
Is that fine? Okay. All right. Floor is all yours, Mr. Dale. Welcome.
Thank you, Mayor. Welcome, everyone. I know you're here for another purpose, so I don't want to take too much of your time. I want to first start by saying, thank you, Council. Thank you very much. It's been a ride, that's for sure. As our attorney stated, I did respectfully submit my resignation tonight as city manager. I was offered another opportunity to return in the civil engineering field, and I've decided to take that offer. The opportunity will allow me to continue to serve others. I've been able to surround myself with truly dedicated, capable department heads and great employees. We've almost become somewhat of a family. When you're in a battle together and you're battling for the same thing, it tends to form lasting relationships, and that's kind of where we've been, and that's where we've gone. So I have a deep respect for not only this council, but for people that work with the city, our department heads. I've seen their dedication. It's amazing. I mean, we see people working until 2:30 in the morning. We've seen department heads. We see people working on Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays working for this city and not expecting any recognition for that. I've seen these firsthand. I do love this city, and I've acted all the time as if it were my own. Although I had not lived here, I always acted as every dollar that we spent, every decision that we made, as if I owned the city, as if I owned it myself. I took personal responsibility for some of those things that we did. I truly do appreciate and value the time I spent here at the city. the relationships that I alluded to before that were formed, but I'm also excited to start a new journey. Together, as is stated in our mission statement, that's very important to me, and that's kind of why I implemented saying it, because that really just highlights everything that we should focus on as a city. We're public servants. We are here to serve people and make the city a better place. We're not here, hopefully, for our own selves, but we're here to share our experiences and give our experience back to the city. We have changed the direction of the city. The city was in a different direction 3 to 4 years ago. We erased a massive deficit, a negative balance in the general fund to the tune of about $4 million. We're now in the positive territory. In 2017, when we started, we had department heads that were all basically acting or interim. We had some full-fledged ones. We didn't even have a city clerk position filled. Now we do. We have department heads that are working in unity to make the city better. We did reorganize this basic city structure to be more effective and more efficient, and that's one of the reasons why we're able to get out of that mire that we were in. Where there was little stability, there's now a unified perseverance to get the city through the storms. Where there was little confidence, now there is a calm assurance that the city will continue. There are still so many new and exciting developments on the horizon for this city. And I want to briefly touch on this. We know that there's critics of this city. We're aware of that. Some critics are justified in what they're saying, and some aren't. But critics of public servants come from all walks of life. The First Amendment is key to our American society. It's extremely important and should be protected. Public servants should be held to a high standard. However, what we are seeing today in politics, locally and across this nation, is people making up stories for political gain, or they have an agenda, without concern for the possible damage to the personal lives that are affected. It's easy to tell the difference between true critics, ones that really want to make a difference, and then ones that have hidden agendas. The key difference between a true critic that is concerned for the direction of the city or the agency is that they will not run with speculation or lies. They will apologize if proven wrong. A true critic will not resort to name-calling or make personal slanderous remarks. A person with true intentions on the betterment of the city will also acknowledge the good things that are happening in the city. Critics that have hidden agendas will throw all the mud they can and see what sticks. They will lie, call names. Really, there are no boundaries. The mud that doesn't stick is just simply ignored. The best policy that we can entreat is to treat others the way we wish to be treated. We don't treat others the way they treat us. We should treat others the way we wish to be treated. Now, can you imagine what this world would be like if everybody followed that policy? It wouldn't be the world that we're living in now. John Wooden, if you don't know who John Wooden was, he was a coach of the UCLA Bruins. He was the most successful coach ever. He said, be more concerned with your character than your reputation. And I struggle with this sometimes. Because your character is what you really are, while your reputation is merely what others think you are. Mayor and council, again, I want to thank you for the confidence you've shown in me, even during the difficult times. I have confidence and respect for the city council and staff. The city now has the right people in the right positions to continue this upward trajectory, and that includes the decision that you just made tonight. Very importantly, and before I talked about this, I didn't know what the decision you were going to make, but we have a succession plan in place. I don't even expect a speed bump in this process of transition. I will miss this job and the incredible people that I have had the pleasure of working with these past 3 years. They really are incredible people. we have enjoyed relative peace compared to prior years in the councils. And for that, I truly, truly respect you and thank you. Another quote from John Wynne says, "Success comes from knowing that you did your best to become the best that you're capable of becoming. And as I leave the city, I feel confident knowing that working together with the council, department heads, staff, we were successful in what we did because we put our best effort into it. We left it all here." I leave you with this last scripture. "The Lord is my shepherd." Do you know this one? Psalm 23. "I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runs over. Surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever." Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dale. And we're all going to have an opportunity in just a minute to give our comments regarding Mr. Dale. I'm going to take the opportunity now to say something. Okay? And then, okay. Mr. Dale, we want to thank you for doing an outstanding job as city manager. And now we wish you the very best in your future endeavors. We really do. You've done an excellent job here. We will miss you. Now, you, the public, have nothing to be worried about. We continue to be on a steady course. One of the greatest attributes of any leader is to teach, prepare others to lead, and that is what Mr. Dale has done. Rest assured, your welfare is secured with City Hall. All department heads are skilled and efficient and is ready to continue to lead. In spite of the recent crisis that we have entailed, Calexico City government is on a steady course, stable and consistent in its goals and objectives for the community. We are solid, well-organized, and determined not to be deterred by any crisis. Hence, the city government of Calexico is well prepared in its succession plan. We know what is needed, and we know what to do in smoothly transitioning to a new city manager. There will be no disruptions, hiccups, or transgressions in obtaining a new city manager and moving forward and achieving the city's goals. What will be is a confident and smooth change in our city. No drama, just collaboration, action, and achievement. This is the new face, character of Calexico. Thank you. Now, Mr. City Attorney, you wanted to come up?
Thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to, on the approval of the agenda item, we do have an item we need to add
Yes.
on the fourth, fifth vote to the agenda. It's a staff. You'll see a staff report on the dais. It's approval of a consulting agreement with Dotec LLC for planning services.
Okay.
So we would need a motion to add that to the agenda.
All right. Is there a motion to add this to the agenda? It will be item number 7.
Make a motion that we accept it.
All right. Second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Pacheco. All right. We'll take an individual vote.
Mayor Hodge,
Aye.
Councilmember Ariola Fernandez,
Aye.
Councilmember Risen, Councilmember Pacheco,
Aye.
Councilmember Garcia.
All right. Passes unanimously. Very good. All right. Now it is time for public comments and public appearances. Any public comments, City Clerk?
This is the time for the public to address the City Council on any item not appearing on the agenda that is within the subject matter jurisdiction of the City Council. During the current state of emergency, public comments submitted via email by 5 p.m. on the deadline, July 1, 2020, will be read aloud and entered into the record. Any comments received during or after the meeting will be distributed to the City Council and retained for the official record. City Council is prohibited by state law from taking action or discussing items not included on the printed agenda.
All right, and we have public comments?
Yes. Miguel Aguirre, greetings. Mr. Javier Gonzalez holds himself out of the public as having been a member of the Calexico Beautification Commission, member Calexico Parks Recreation, member of Calexico Finance Commission, member of the Economic Development Commission under Article 1, Section 3 of the California State Constitution and the California Public Records Act. Please provide to me any writings in Mr. Gonzalez in fact held these positions to the government. Mr. Pedro Ortiz. I was barely recovering from the ex-councilman Romero's fiasco with his cannabis rodeo and City Hall's non-involvement VC response when we read the news about his supposed self-imposed privilege of not paying a year's worth of his water usage. I can still recall our city manager and his team's motto back when he was first installed into the position: efficiency. This instance, and who knows what others we are unaware of, prove that the efficiency pledge was turned into a complicit attitude. There should be consequences to this lack of efficiency. One of those should be the resignation of a job poorly done. In addition, there are concerns from Calexico merchants who worry about the expediency with which Romero's replacement was voted into the City Council. 75% of the City Council voted against background checks on any candidates, including the BOW substitute. To this merchant, and the lack of due diligence on behalf of the City's Council is extremely perturbing. This only adds to the apprehension brought on from the current inspector, whose dubious behavior leaves a lot to be desired. The preoccupation stems from past history, Canales versus City of Calexico, and the coincidental inspection conducted on the next day on anyone who files a complaint with the city, whereupon any of all codes are enforced upon the personal filing of any complaint. And another comment, Myrna Valenzuela. Dear City Council, while Calexico residents are fighting to keep their jobs, homes, and livelihood due to the COVID pandemic, you guys continue to enable corruption and shady events that have negative impact not only on the residents but on the City Hall employee morale. Mr. Hodge, under your watch as a mayor, you enabled the city manager to work a second job at Borrego Springs Water District since last February. If Calexico didn't have problems with water and sewer issues, I can understand why they will reach out to employ David Dale as a district engineer and work on their 8-year plan. However, not only do we have pressing issues, but increased water and sewer rates. You guys' legacy is a disgrace for residents and employees at the City Hall. Know that Calexico residents' lives matter, and putting yourselves and wallets first will never attract honest people to work at City Hall and honest businesses to operate in Calexico. We, the residents, including employees, will remember your legacy, Mr. Hodge, Mr. Morris, Mr. Fernandez, this past year, and we will see you at the voting posts in November. Myrna Valenzuela. Sarah Cortez, to whom it may concern. If the rest of the Imperial Valley's shelters are no-kill, Calexico should follow suit. These animals need another chance at life, but are being deprived of one if they are euthanized. It is inhumane and utterly evil to kill an innocent animal that was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. If the animal had been taken to El Centro Humane Society, the animal would have had a longer life. Please do something to change this, as these animals are no fault and should be treated with respect. Yes, it's hard to keep them alive, but it is your job to find a way to save them. I will be following up with you in the future to make sure this problem is fixed and more lives can be saved. Regards, Sara Cortez Gallardo. Juan Antonio Beltran. At the previous council meeting, the citizens of Calexico learned that Mr. David Romero did not pay for his water service for a year. However, a large number of Calexico City residents received threatening notices announcing a cut of water service because they had a delay of 30 days. Who is responsible for sending these types of notices when we are in the midst of a pandemic and about to hit a recession? Ana Gutierrez. This is addressed to all members of the Calexico City Council. I am a resident of this city, have been so for 20-plus years, and you may have been hearing a lot about defunding the police. Let me make it clear that when we say defund the police, we mean entirely defund, reallocate those funds to the people in this small city, then from there to disband the police department. I, like many others, imagine and already are seeing the life with no police. The work ahead after disbanding police department is not easy, and one that has been in motion for longer than any one of us in this city have been alive. So I am asking and I am demanding, first of all, any plans to increase budget for body cams and de-escalation training. Time and time again, it's been proven these types of reforms do not work. You cannot reform a department that has a history tied to being slave patrollers. Today is this same department has evolved and masked itself as protectors for the community. You can all check this online if you do not have time to read a book. Now, secondly, after the city needs to completely defund and put those funds towards social services, and lastly, disband the Calexico Police Department. Please look at what's happening around the country and tell me you don't see it. The despair, the suffering, and the police state has brought. Disbanding those police departments is a first step at ending all policing. To truly have a growing, nurturing, and vibrant community, we must bring to an end to policing. It has taken away too many loved ones, and enough is enough. My name is Willie Hermosillo, both a small business owner and homeowner in Calexico, 400 West Birch, Calexico. Under the city manager, David Dale, and city council have received 2 warnings about unhealthy chemicals in our city. We need a written update on the quality of our water. Under city manager and council, we have increased in our water bill, and now the city is illegally taking money from our water bill to the general fund. Now that you have increased our water bill, you now want to have us pay $40 million for water and sewer bonds. City council has allowed the city manager to work for another water district in another city to help them with their water issues. City manager has allowed a free gift of public funds to the councilman who was taking a mordida for city permits. Who else in Calexico gets free water for a long time? The citizens of Calexico will be requesting for a complete audit of city finances, including the enterprise fund and the water bill for councilman who was taking bribes. The petition will be sent to the state controller's office.
Yes? Thank you very much, City Clerk. Before we move forward, I just want to announce we have some special guests. I hope they're here, yes, from Mexicali. Very good. Hablo español, pero poquito. So, perdóname. We have Rosela Rojo, Director of Public Relations. Please stand. Give her a hand. All the way from Mexicali. Andrea Peña, Coordinator of International Relations. Welcome. Thank you for coming. We appreciate that. Okay. Now it is time for City Council comments. Start to my right, Councilwoman Fernandez.
I just want to thank our city manager for all the hard work he has done, and I wish him well in his new position. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
City
Uh,
Councilman Campos. Garcia,
Garcia.
excuse me.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. David, I know I didn't have a chance to work with you, but I know that a lot of things have been accomplished over the last 3 years. So we really hate to see you go. We're gonna miss you, but I think the foundation has been set for. So we're gonna continue. There's a great plan for succession, so that's important. Thank you for your services. The best of luck. Thank you.
Councilman Rising?
Yeah, Dale, you should thank us. Excuse me, we should thank you for all you did for us. Every time I gave you a call, you answered me. Every time I wanted to see you, you were there for me. You're one hell of a city manager, and I appreciate everything you did for us. And you have to go on with your life, but good luck in your endeavors. Thank you.
Councilman Pacheco?
The biggest thing, David, for me, was getting out of this 4 million deficit. That was the biggest cloud over the city, and it took us almost like 2 years to get rid of that. And now we're in a plus mode. We've been that for the past maybe 2 years now. We're going up, we're going up. You got us out of a tremendous hole. You and your staff and the assistant city manager did a great job in holding together the city, and the employees, we take our hats off to them. They truly took a big bite and did not ask for a lot, but we maintained the city. We have a fire department, a police department. We have a public works department. I think what you two did was just fantastic. We're going to miss you, Mr. Dale. There's no question about that. We wish you the best. Thank you for filling in those big shoes at city manager here at Calexico City Hall. Thank you for everything.
Okay. Mr. Dale, I concur with what everybody said. You did an outstanding job as city manager. And your leadership and the way you brought up, along with Mr. Figueroa, the morale of the whole city. We still have issues to resolve out of equity and fairness, but morale is definitely up. I commend you for that. But I think that the one thing that you leave with me is that you are a principled man, Mr. Dale. You have integrity. And those kinds of characteristics are far and few between. And so we were very fortunate to have you and the type of person that you were as city manager. So I wish you and your wife and your family the very, very best in all your endeavors. Thank you very much. Okay. Now it's time. Mr. Figueroa, do you have any reports? Not at this time, sir. Okay. Now it's City Council reorganization, and it is time to swear in the newly appointed council member, Camilo Garcia.
I, Camilo Garcia,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of California
and the Constitution of California
against all
enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
or
purpose of evasion,
and that I
will well
and faithfully discharge the duties
upon which I'm about to enter.
in which I'm about to enter. Congratulations, Councilmember.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we have now our newly appointed councilman, which is Camilo Garcia. Mr. Garcia, just a little bit of information about this gentleman, is a very skilled and talented individual with a strong economic background. He served on the Economic Development and Finance Commission and many other entities. Mr. Garcia will be a real asset to City Council. He is a man of good character and integrity, and we welcome you to the team. So welcome, Mr. Garcia. Welcome. Thank you. Anybody else want to say something at this point?
Welcome.
Yeah. Thank you. We welcome you. Okay. Now,
Mr. Mayor?
yes.
Can I just-
Yes, you may say something, of course.
Thank you, thank you. Well, first of all, I want to thank, the citizens of Calexico. I know that I tried in 2018, the support was there. But more than the citizens, also my family. I think, behind a great man, there's also a great woman. And that is my wife. Happens to be here in attendance. My children, 2 of my children. Another one has to work, but it's also in the line of duty, We're going through very difficult times. And many times I have been asked, why now? You're crazy. Well, it's now. It's now because these are the times that define an individual. These are the times where we have to make sure that leadership, continuity, and decisions that are for the benefit of all are made. I think tonight, it's an important step that, we're taking. We're continuing with what is already built. I want to acknowledge, my fellow council members now. I can address you as fellow council members for the work that you have done. You have done a lot. I'm here to support you. I'm here to continue to be part of this team. I'm here to continue the work that was done before by other distinguished council members also. We have Mr. Escobar in attendance also,
Yes.
who was a council member here. Now he's at the county, leading, taking our voice to the council, to the county. So, again, thank you to the citizens of Calexico. Thank you to all of you. I'll be here to continue to work for you. My work has been also in the community. Our work, our family, my wives, my children, we enjoy helping our fellow men. That's what we're here for. That's why I'm here. And if I can just say something in Spanish, le quiero dar las gracias a todos, a los ciudadanos de Calexico. Detrás de cada hombre, gran hombre, hay una gran mujer, mi esposa, mis hijos, el pueblo. Y de nuevo no puedo olvidar a mi familia, a mis padres, a mis hermanos. Todos ellos formaron parte de mi formación. Ha sido bastante. No quiero decir que es una culminación, pero es un logro de todos. Pero un logro para seguir sirviendo a la comunidad, para seguir sirviendo a nuestro prójimo. Eso es lo que necesitamos. Son bienvenidas todas las sugerencias, son bienvenidas todas las críticas, constructivas o lo que sea. Estoy aquí para ustedes, soy un libro abierto. Lo que quieran preguntar, lo que quieran saber, aquí estoy. Gracias a todos los que han tenido parte en mi vida, ahora, en el pasado, ahora y en el futuro. Muchas gracias. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now it's time for the appointment. Would you like to say something? Go right ahead.
I would like to use your time now and give your time. Outgoing mayor.
Well, okay, that's a little down a couple of steps. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay.
Number 3.
Huh?
Item number 3, he just wants
Yeah.
to follow.
Yeah, you'll have a time to speak, Mr. Rice, Councilman Rice, definitely. Okay, so let's go to item number 3 under reorganization, and it is appointment of mayor, chairman of the city of Calexico, Calexico Community Redevelopment Agency, successor agency / Calexico Financing Authority for the fiscal year 2020 to 2021. All right, would someone like to nominate or make an appointment for our next mayor?
So Mayor, let me explain to the
Okay.
audience here what we do. Is every year we have rotation.
Yeah,
We all have a chance to become the mayor here in Calexico. And right now, it's Mrs. Fernandez's turn. And I think he'll do a good job, and you did a good job, Mr. Mayor. So at this point, I would like to nominate Rosie Ariola Fernandez as our next mayor of Calexico.
all right, very good. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Pacheco. We'll take an individual vote.
Mayor Hodge,
Aye.
Councilmember Arreola Fernandez,
Aye.
Councilmember Risen, Councilmember Pacheco,
Aye.
Councilmember Garcia.
Aye.
All right. As expected and well-deserved, it passes unanimously. Very good. Congratulations. I have a few comments, and then anybody else at this time can say something. And then we'll go to Mayor Pro Tem. So, as you can see, we smoothly made the transition to our next mayor. Now, my advice for our next mayor, Fernandez, Madam Mayor, is to know your goals and objectives and execute. I found that to be the simplest way. Don't let obstacles or criticism stop you, all right? And don't take no for an answer, and look at crises as opportunities. So, I know that our Madam Mayor will do very well in this relationship role, but we must give her a chance, and we will. But the public, we're asking to give her a chance, like you gave me a chance to perform and to come up to the task. So, Mayor, you have my full respect and support, and I'm very sure that you have the respect and support of the remaining council. So thank you very much for stepping up, okay? Okay. Now it's time to make an appointment of Mayor Pro Tem, Vice Chairman of the City of Calexico, Community Redevelopment Agency, successor agency, Calexico Finance Authority for fiscal year 2020 to 2021. All right, so is there I'd like to make a nomination, right? I can do that. So I would like to nominate Councilman Morris Risen as Mayor Pro Tem of Calexico. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Pacheco. Very good. We'll take an individual vote.
Councilman Hodge,
Aye.
Mayor Arreola Fernandez, Councilmember Risen, Councilmember Pacheco.
Aye.
Okay. All right, very good. And that passes
Camille,
unanimously.
did you get Mr. Garcia?
Oh,
That's
did we-
fine.
oh, we did go to
Garcia.
I think it's time to get
My
used to.
apologies.
Sorry.
Aye.
All right, give him a hand. You have you have a man, Mr. Morris Risen, that is of good character, and there's not a whole lot you need to say about Morris except that he gets things done. He's a man of action, and we are very fortunate to have him on the council. And so we wish you the very best in your new position, Councilman, or Mayor Pro Tem Risen. All right, so now it's time for presentation to outgoing mayor. Who's going to do that? Mayor. Okay, so do we switch?
You are.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's going to say a speech, no?
Well, if he wants to.
Yeah, I have a speech. Huh? You want me to? Okay, I can give my little speech. Okay. Well, I've come to the end of my mayorship. It has been a real joyride, to say the least. I deeply thank you for giving me this opportunity to serve you, the community. I thank everyone in City Hall, especially City Council, for your confidence and support in me. I enjoyed the leadership role, even during some stressful challenges that we had. What I discovered was that during a crisis, it can be a real test of one's character. And that is the time that you need to step up and be a leader. Now, there was so much that I wanted to accomplish as mayor, and I did somewhat, a great deal, with the help of others, because it's a real collaborative effort. But COVID-19 set a new direction. Here was a new challenge, a different crisis we had never experienced before. But in spite of COVID-19 and other crises, I was determined to move forward for the better good of the community. I deeply care about Calexico and its people and the welfare of our people, and I hope that I have done you well. So thank you for giving me the honor to serve. Thank you very much. Now we'll do the switching. Is that correct? Let's see, where do I go? You go there, Pacheco? I don't. I think I go there, Pacheco. You're right after.
You go next to the mayor.
Who?
You go next to the mayor.
Me? Oh, that's right. Because this is the very end. So we start all over again. This is the rotation, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, are we ready? Are we ready?
Yes. And you have the right to have, oh, well, you have a right to make some comments as a new mayor, if you like. Yeah.
Okay, first and foremost, I would like to thank my colleagues here in the City Council for being supportive of my appointment as city manager. I am really honored. Though we're going through difficult time due to the coronavirus, but our administration and city staff continue to work hard. We stand here united as a city moving forward towards greatness, and it can be. I have the traditional background for leadership, have over 30 years' experience in politics, was 16 years elected official for the Heffernan Memorial Healthcare District. I'm currently one of the directors of Calexico Chamber of Commerce, president of Women's Improvement Club, and secretary of the Juarez Lincoln Club. As your mayor, my goal is to make the city of Calexico better. We can't. How we are going to do it is to continue working together. We will overcome our challenges with our friends, our family, our loved ones, those we trust and those we need to trust again in order to succeed. Because the only way we are going to make this city great is to do it together, united. And most of all, I'd like to thank my friends and family for all their love and support and encouragement. May God bless you and be safe.
Thank you.
Now, I would like to give our honor award plaque to Mr. Bill Hutch. Ex-mayor, you have done a wonderful job. I can't thank you enough for all the support you have given me specifically, our colleagues here, and also for all the staff here in the city of Calexico. And like I said, united, we're gonna stand.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now moving on. Will we add it to the agenda?
Yeah, we already did that, Madam Mayor. So it's consent agenda.
So it will be in the consent agenda, along with warrants from June 6, 2020 to June 19, 2020, and city salaries June 6 to 2020 to June 19, 2020.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, but I think she wants to take an individual
You
vote.
want to take it individually?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mayor Arreola Fernandez,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Bryson, Councilmember Pacheco,
Aye.
Councilmember Garcia,
Aye.
Councilmember Hodge,
Aye.
unanimous.
Passed.
Okay.
Discussion and potential action item. Approval of pre-qualified application. I'm sorry.
That's right.
Oh, no, it is.
It is.
Approval of the pre-qualified application for 2020 sale of safe and sane fireworks. Do we have,
Background.
yeah.
Good evening, City Council, members that are present here today, and like always, most importantly, our citizens watching us. On the agenda tonight is for the approval of the candidates that were able to sell the fireworks for this 4th of July. We, unfortunately, because of COVID, it took us a while to get this through because we didn't know where we were going to stand, and that leads us to, again, to tonight. I know the county's going to take a new order. It should be happening this evening, which will also affect our decision. However, up until then, we have 2 candidates. They submitted their applications. They were reviewed. They met all the standards, all the needs, requirements. So we went ahead and approved 2 of them. and they're in front of you, the Mas que Vencedores and Christ Community Church. So just with your permission, we'd like to make those official.
Okay. Madam Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve agenda item number 6.
Do I have a second?
All right.
All in favor?
Mayor Arreola Fernandez,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Bryson, Councilmember Pacheco,
Aye.
Councilmember Garcia,
Aye.
Councilmember Hodge.
Aye.
Passed. I think we missed Mr. Morris's speech for incoming pro.
I want to thank you for your council for giving me the confidence to be Mayor Pro Tem. But Mayor Pro Tem for me is just a title. I'm still a councilman, and we're all equal here, and we're going to work hard together and try to get everything, all that we have going. We have to finish what we started. So I'm here to help you guys until my term is up, and then we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Rising.
Okay. Yes.
And we have item
This meeting.
number
We have the
7.
last item.
Number 7.
Here we go.
We have items number 7. Approval of consulate agreement with Lotec LL for planning services.
Correct, Mayor, Council. The item before you, it's a contract to continue the services with the planning consultant. The city has had this contract for 2 years now. It's been for 1 year periods. Because the city right now is doing an RFP for planning as well as engineering. We're going to convert that contract from a yearly contract to a month-to-month contract. Once the RFP gets issued and reviewed proposals, we could terminate this contract. All the terms of the contract remain the same. The only revision we're making to the contract is making it from a yearly contract to a month-to-month contract. And that's the only change to the contract we're making.
Okay.
So I want to make it clear, so it is on month to month?
Correct, month-to-month contract. So it could be terminated on any month.
Any questions?
No, Madam Mayor.
They're just limited to so many hours, though. Apparently, there's 125 hours.
Yes, the contract allows up to 20 hours per week. The fiscal impact is 6,880 per
Monthly
month.
stipend.
Correct.
Correct.
And those are the current terms of the current contract as well, so nothing has changed.
Make a motion to approve item number 7.
I'll second that.
Mayor Arreola Fernandez,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Bryson,
Aye.
Councilmember Pacheco,
Aye.
Councilmember Garcia,
Aye.
Councilmember Hodge.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, I'll pass. I guess, oh,
Future.
And you thought I was not going to say anything today, huh?
Ah, police chief.
is that I couldn't see you.
Well, okay. Wow. Thank you. First of all, I want to congratulate the new mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and I want to thank Mr. Hodge. I'm going to miss those conversations here at City Hall while you were writing your speeches. Mr. Garcia, thank you very much for stepping it up and welcome on board. Mr. Pacheco, hanging in the butt. Anyways, I'm just here to give you guys a real quick update on last week's fiasco that we had with the southbound traffic. It was something that caught us unprepared. This time around, the communication was done really, really good. We were actually given notice since Monday. We will be prepared. The only thing I can tell you is this, that our mission for the Calexico Police Department with their traffic controllers is to keep all major intersections open. We have no control on how fast that line is going to move south. I cannot promise that the line's going to move quick. I am actually advising our Imperial Valley community, our citizens of Calexico, if you can avoid going into Mexicali from Thursday, starting tomorrow at 2 p.m. till Sunday at 8 p.m., do so. We, both countries in our communities, like I said before, Calexico, I see it as the gated community of Mexicali because they're our big brother. They're 1 point something million people, and we only have 182,000 people in Imperial County. Being that said, it is going to affect us. They're trying to control the COVID spread, and they're not saying that we are taking the COVID over there. It's a way for them to monitor the situation, how many of their citizens might be symptomatic. It's an educational awareness part on their side by doing the checks for temperature. It's educational for them to check for people wearing face covers. It's educational for them to keep their people from traveling more than 2 people. We have to support them, and I know it affects us, and it affects us not only by our staff having to be there till the wee hours of the morning like they did on Friday, but it also takes a toll on them physically because it's very exhausting to be out there at 110-degree temperature with very minimal breaks. So my hat's off to my staff that can stand out there, my officers that have controlled traffic out there while my traffic controllers come in. And I actually want to thank publicly Mr. Figueroa, Mr. Dale, our human resource, Denise Garcia, my traffic control person, my full-time person, which is Andrea Navarro, who stepped it up on Friday and to get our temporary employees in at a last minute to help us mitigate that mess we had. I did attend a meeting with the state on Saturday, and that was brought to their attention. I did bring that up to also FEMA on Saturday. So they're aware of what's going on, but we cannot control the speed. That's why I want to make sure you guys understand that. So if you need to go across town, I can't promise you that you're going to come back eastbound or westbound, whichever way you go, at a quick speed. So what normally takes you 10 minutes or 15 might take you 30 minutes, depending on what's going on. The major intersections will be controlled for emergency vehicles. That's our main concern, emergency vehicles, so we can get our ambulances and officers across and Border Patrol and everybody else that uses it. Secondary is our citizens going to the stores. I think at this point we all know what direction the state's headed to. It looks like we need to stay home, stay safe. And I advise people to please practice that. The less work you have for us to go out there and control traffic and take traffic accident reports, the better we can serve our community with other calls that need to be taken care of. So I thank you, wish you guys luck, and I'll see you in 2 weeks, hopefully.
Chief, are we going to have any logistics with Friday and Saturday? La fila was all the way down to Heber. I was caught between Imperial Avenue and 111 in the middle. Everybody was, one of your officers had to come in and do his thing, but are we aware of our neighbors doing that again on a Friday, Saturday? That was...
So I did, it's going to happen again Thursday, starting tomorrow from 2 p.m. all the way till Sunday at 8 p.m.
I spoke to the chief, Ms. Andrade, again today, and she said she's going to try to do it randomly, like check 5 cars and let 10 go.
So there's 2 components to that, and I don't want to keep on talking about that, but they have the federal component where they're checking, like public health is checking for the symptoms, and then the second component is the city of Mexicali with the police department that are doing the 2 people per car check, and also they're checking for alcoholic beverages. They don't want excess alcohol beverages going down south, and that's what it is. So we do have the traffic controllers. They're going to, like I said, our mission is just major intersections. I can't move traffic any faster than what's being led across. Well, one person that I forgot to mention that was a huge help, and I'm sorry, Mr. Morris Risen. You knew the situation I was under on Friday, so, but Morris, man, he made the phone calls, and we stayed up till what, 2 in the morning, Morris, texting and calling, so he helped me a lot. He took the lead when it came to contacting the people that I couldn't contact in Mexicali. So Morris has a lot of good contacts in Mexicali, and I want to thank you, Mr. Morris. I forgot you.
We happen to have a couple of them here.
Bienvenidos.
But that's what it is. We will be
No.
expecting.
No, we are expecting. It's going to happen. There is no doubt about it. It's
They've
going to.
informed us.
Yes, they informed us.
Secretary for International Affairs.
Okay. So, I mean, ¿quiere decir algo? ¿Gusta decir algo? Sobre,
filas.
o cubrir más o menos lo que. Okay, she says fine, yeah. So, it is going to happen. Pásale, por favor. Para que lo oiga la gente. It is going to happen. There's no if it happens. It's going to happen starting tomorrow.
Hola, buenas tardes. ¿Han tenido dudas acerca del paso de bebidas alcohólicas? Que ha sido como un punto que me preguntaron en la carta que enviamos en el oficio, que no había quedado muy claro. Solamente quiero hacer pues de su conocimiento que son 12 potes o 12 botellas por vehículo. ¿Por qué es esto? Para evitar las aglomeraciones, porque pues la gente compra cerveza y pues se junta, entonces sabemos que ustedes están en holiday y no queremos evitar las reuniones masivas. Entonces, solamente quisiera aclarar ese punto en relación a las bebidas alcohólicas. Y sí, evidentemente se están instalando los filtros porque pues creemos necesario también estar teniendo un control de las personas que están ingresando y quienes de ellos presentan síntomas como medida de prevención para evitar que la enfermedad de COVID-19 se siga propagando en la ciudad. Y si tienen alguna duda, mi nombre es Andrea Peña, con todo gusto me pueden contactar para podérsela resolver.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias.
So real quick, what something that she clarified that I didn't was on the alcohol. So per car, it's only 12 cans or 12 bottles. There's no 12 cans or 12 bottles per person in the car. It's per vehicle. And they will cite you, and they will either take away or they'll make you throw out the beer there. We have no control over that. So we're just advising it's 12 beers, 12 cans, or 12 cans, one or the other, 12 of. No more than that. Anything out than that is excess. And you can have 2 adults in the vehicle, and it's not 24, it's only 12. So just make sure you guys understand that. Honestly, people, until COVID-19 takes a dramatic decrease in our communities, they're going to continue these checkpoints on a weekend basis. So they're starting July 2nd tomorrow because of the 3-day holiday. Most likely next week it's going to be Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday. They're starting tomorrow, Thursday, because of 4th of July.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Chief.
Mr.
Wasn't aware.
Escobar, Supervisor Escobar, do you have anything to add or would like to add?
First of all, congratulations to all of you.
Thank you.
Hang in there. I like that. That's el chalo. Hang in there. I like that one. I don't have really good news to tell you. I'm sure you've read the paper. You've heard the news. We're not doing too good from a COVID-19 curve perspective. Just like our neighbors to the south, our neighbors to the east in Yuma County are seeing spikes. Our neighbors to the north in Riverside County are seeing spikes. And our neighbors in San Diego to the west are seeing spikes. Unfortunately, we are the epitome of the spike, and we haven't stopped. Unfortunately, we are backtreading. We're going from let's say, a heavy 2A to a very light 2A. The major components of where we're receding to have to do with religious services. No indoor religious services, only outdoor religious services of up to 100 people with social distancing. And the other major component, unfortunately, is retail. We're going back to curbside pickup only. We're not going to be able to have retail stores open other than the essential services. Those are the two major components. Obviously, the other major components of where we're headed to are obviously what we all know, which is social distancing, which a lot of us are not practicing. Our representatives from Mexicali just mentioned it. It's very easy for us to say, oh, una carnita asada, oh, let's get together. We're going to practice social distancing. And all of a sudden, we got 20, 25 people. And 2 weeks later, we have 10 people infected with COVID-19. That's really what we're trying to dissipate by talking about social distancing, wearing face coverings, respecting one's space. At the end of the day, if I don't respect you, you don't respect me, we have a potential for an infection, or basically mass infections in this case. So we really need to stop the spread of the infection and basically flatten the curve, or we're going to be stuck with this for months. The vaccine, I asked our public health officer on a weekly basis at our meetings, when is the vaccine coming? When is the vaccine coming? Unfortunately, it's the same answer. And there is no answer. I've heard realistic, optimistic results of having a vaccine available in November. And then I've seen realistic, pessimistic responses into April and May of next year. And mass vaccinations until next flu season, which would be fall of 2021. So at this point, we're at the mercy of God and of COVID-19 flattening. But at this point, we need to take accountability for our own actions. And basically, what does that mean? Stay at home. You have nothing to do outside, don't be outside. You want to take a walk? Wear a face covering. You need to go to Walmart or to any grocery store for that matter, because I don't want to publicize Walmart. You need to go grocery shopping. Wear a face mask. Respect yourself and respect others. That's the most important thing that we need to do in order to flatten the curve. If we don't do that, it's not going to happen. Again, sorry for the negative.
No.
Parks at the county level will be closed, and we are strongly encouraging for cities to follow the same suit. And again, we go back to square one where we don't want to mix and mingle. We want to de-emphasize the social aspects because, again, we want to flatten the curve. Is it what we want to do? No, but we have to do it in order to flatten the curve, bottom line.
Supervisor Escobar, I know that the county put the 13-point plan, and I think one of I guess one of the points that is being emphasized is enforcement, by the cities, so stronger enforcement by the cities. And I know that was going to go also to the state, and there was we were supposed to be, getting a response sometime today or to that plan, or how is that? Did we get a response, or?
Well, as far as enforcement, or as far as the 13-point plan?
As far as the plan.
The 13-point plan, if I understand it correctly, I haven't checked my emails that have been in here, there's going to be a press conference at 5, and I believe we will be moving forward with the 13-point plan. As far as enforcement is concerned, you bring up a very valid point, and that's something that hasn't happened. The issue with enforcement is the lack of enforcement personnel. And I'll take Calexico, and Chief of Police is here to cooperate. How many boots on the street do we currently have in Calexico? Total. Don't scare me.
Yeah.
I know we were low, but 4 is like beyond low.
Boots on the ground, you have 18.
Okay, 18 for a city of 45,000. It goes back to enforcement. Sheriff's office is depleted for the entire county in the same manner. Most of the police departments for every city are challenged from a boots on the street perspective. So the enforcement, it's almost like we have to enforce ourselves. We have to respect ourselves. We have to push the envelope in order to make sure that we hold ourselves accountable. If we don't do that, we're not going to flatten the curve, bottom line. And this is going to be with us for months. We have to learn what to deal with it. From a financial perspective and from a health perspective, this will be with us for months. So again, sorry for being the bearer of bad news.
Thank you for your honesty.
Thank you. No questions? Hang in there. Congratulations, everybody.
Thank you.
I guess, Future agenda items? Mr. Pacheco?
No, we just have to adhere to our county health department and our governor and take the lead from them and really follow up on what we need to do, cover up, don't go out, wash your hands. Basic stuff, but that it is what it is. It's a global epidemic. It's global, and it's in our valley, and it is what it is. So we need to police ourselves. Is what I'm going to say. So we need to do that. No, other than that, no, I don't think we'll just follow the guidelines and let our governor either slap our wrist or really come down and lower the boom on us. But we'll need to follow the health department and our county supervisors and the governor. That's all I had. I had nothing other than that.
Pro Tem Mayor?
Just want to ask Mr. Escobar, is opening up at Eastport feasible? Is it gonna,
Not at this time.
not at this time?
Not at this time.
Because that'll alleviate a lot of the line. They can go to the Eastport, if they can open like in a weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
That's not feasible. I did make a couple calls, and the reason for that is, first of all, from the U.S. side, it does involve getting the approval from D.C. And not only that component, but we also get, once you close something down, you need to get federal government approval on both sides of the border. You can't just open one without the other. So you've got the Mexican component. And at the end of the day, the justification for them is we're trying to lower the curve. We're trying to flatten the curve. So again, their justification, I mean, it's inarguable. So again, that's not going to be feasible, at least not in the short term, unfortunately.
No further.
Mr. Garcia?
No, just want to wish them all safe holidays, and of course, stay home. Enjoy. If you're gonna have fireworks, be responsible. I know we're selling fireworks, so we still have to support our nonprofits. But again, social distancing. We have to do our part. So be safe.
No future agenda items.
I guess this meeting is adjourned.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.